to play with dolls. That's what I want to do. I want to play with dolls. And I've only got a limited time today because I got a lot to do today. And I was getting my makeup on real fast, and I'm like, I just want to go play with my dolls. I just want to open some dolls. I want to talk about some dolls. I got Frankie. I got this Ella iconic doll. I'm like, I want to do that. But there's this much louder voice in my head telling me that I need to do this first. That somebody out there needs to bust out of the pit of their trauma and shine their light on the world. So come on, let's get better together. Yeah, let's get better together because apparently I really need to do this. So when we first started this channel, we worked with Scott Simpson. He's a consultant in the world of YouTube and social media and all that. And we had a whole plan and vision for this channel. And I have deviated from that so much, but that's okay. But one of the things Scott asked me was he really drilled down with me to, but why do you want to do this? Even more than what? Why do you have to do it? What if it doesn't work and you only get like 5 views? Why would you keep doing it? And from my gut answer, and I cried. If my eyes tear up, I know I'm speaking truth. Just a little, that's my, I don't know, you might have like my hands zing, my hair stands on end, my belly gets fluttery, whatever. But when I'm speaking truth, my eyes tear up. And I said, because God wants me to. I know God can be a really controversial figure. But I am filled with a lot of faith. I do believe in a higher power. I was raised in a Judeo-Christian framework, and so that's where my brain goes. So I call God He, even though I do not in any way believe that God is a He. I'm working on switching God over to a non-binary, but 55 years of training. When I'm sitting there and I just want to play with my dolls, excuse me, the tea is the perfect temperature. You know how important that is to me. When I'm sitting there putting on my makeup and I'm having these thoughts and I'm getting basically like some teachers like Gabby Bernstein or whatever, they call it like a download. I have a friend who gets messages from angels and she literally gets downloads every morning. She just handwrites them out and they just kind of comes out of her and then she puts them up on Facebook and they're just like, it's like, blah, I don't get them in that way, but like they'll just be this like thought and this urge to get a message out. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. No. And I'm like, no, I want to play with the dolls. I only have a little bit of time. I have like maybe 2 hours max. And then I got to go see mom and I got a bunch of things I got to do. So, and I really have a bunch of dolls I want to open. And I'm having an argument in my head with God. And at some point I thought, Melissa, you're having an argument in your head with God. And I think just because God is like, everything and all of the power and energy of all of the universes, that maybe you shouldn't argue. Maybe you should just do this thing. And this is the thing that I'm going to do. And I don't think this is going to be a long video. I never know, because what happens is I'm about to open my mouth and start saying stuff, and it's not necessarily coming from me. So the message I got this morning was, I was listening to Gabby Bernstein and putting on my makeup, and she said the quote from the Sufi poet Rumi. Rumi's amazing. And the quote is, "The wound is where the light enters you." And then there's also another concept that I'm not sure if it's Rumi or if it's another ancient thing, but it's that our wounds are where the light shines through us. And I've joked before on this channel that I'm like a piece of Swiss cheese, you know, and lots of light shining through. And so as she said that, I thought to myself, yeah, well, that's why I'm an effing lighthouse. I don't know why I just said effing. It's why, you know, people, like when last week I was on a panel at a media thing for media advertising, like nothing. I mean, it was just all, we're going to talk about this one day, old white men, sports jackets. I was like, why am I here? A lot of people who spoke to me said, oh my gosh, you were so sparkly up there. It's like, oh my God, it's like you were somehow brighter than the other people around you. Not that there was anything wrong with the people on the panel with me. It's just, you know, an impression. And I wanted to be like, well, first of all, because I'm not an old white man in a sports coat. But anyway, I looked different. But anyway, I know that there is a light that shines from me sometimes. And it's because I am Swiss cheese. I am riddled with bullet holes of trauma. It has been a long 55 years. As I have always said, I love my life. I wouldn't change anything. But there has been a lot of hard shit. And it's because of that I am hopefully able to help other people, that I'm able to be there for my son in a way that he's recently explained to me that he's realizing that other parents aren't like you. And that, you know, I mean, I'm like, I walk into strangers' lives and I say things or I'm there for them or I do something. And all of that happens because of all of the trauma that I have endured. And stuff that I am still working through. I will probably take some unresolved trauma to my grave. And I spent a little time this year stuck. This was my year of unraveling. My word for the year was supposed to be discipline, but in the back of my head, I kept hearing, no, it's unravel. It's unravel. It's unravel. This was the year of extreme unraveling for me. I kind of fell apart. And everything that happened with my mom and just life and trying to get back into life and not knowing what that means anymore. And I spent a lot of time on, you know, a lot of my social feed has been about trauma recovery, but also honoring your trauma. And this is the piece right here. This is it. This is where, hello, stop whatever you're doing, not if you're driving, and just listen for a second. While it is important to honor our trauma, it is important to say to yourself, it's not okay that that happened to you, that was done to you. You need to honor it. You need to know that it wasn't your fault. You need to know that what happened to you was bad and hurtful. That's important. It's an important part of healing and recovering, and also a part of what I'm about to say next, which is you cannot stay wallowing. I use the word wallow because that's how I think about it. I see myself dwelling over and over again on my traumas, kind of rolling around in them like a pig in mud, which is what wallowing is, and just sort of getting stuck there. And there is a lot of stuff on social media right now. A lot of stuff comes into my feed right now that tells those of us who have experienced or are experiencing trauma that almost what they're saying is that you don't need to let go of it, that you don't need to move on, that honoring trauma means not trying to make something good out of it. So there's a lot of posts you'll see that are like, that you're so strong because all these bad things happen to you and that's why you're so strong. And then there's the alternate perspective, which is I shouldn't have to be strong. It shouldn't have happened to me. I shouldn't have to be strong. I shouldn't have to shine a light on the world because of what happened to me. And I don't think that's true. I think that, okay, it's just going to come out the way I am censoring God right now. The only way to truly honor our trauma is to turn it into something good. To do something with that pain that is good. To bring light into the world. To bring joy and hope and love into the world because of what happened to you. What happened to you wasn't right. It wasn't okay. It did fuck you up. And it hurts. And you are skewered through your heart multiple times by this. You are Swiss cheese like me. But if you are Swiss cheese like me, I believe that it happens for a reason. And saying that is where people get, the hackles go up and people feel like saying that it happened for a reason is making it okay that somebody did this to me. No, I'm not doing that. I am not saying to anybody that it is okay what was done to me. I'm not. Do I work on forgiveness? Yes, we've talked about forgiveness and reconciliation, right? We talked about that you don't always have to reconcile with the people you forgive. Those are two different things. But if you don't take the pain and transform it into light to shine into the world, what was the friggin' point? And if your pain was pointless, you can't get out of it. If you just sit in it and you wallow in it and you tell yourself that it wasn't meant to happen, it doesn't have a meaning, there is no point, and no good can come of it, how do you move on? How do you keep going? I think a lot of people are stuck because they're buying too far into the period of wallowing in the trauma. Whatever happened to you was horrible. Beyond horrible for so many people. There are people who've been through way worse things than I have been through. And I cannot even be able to conceive of the pain or the damage that was done to your psyche. But what I do know is that you have to turn it around. You have to stop looking at the darkness and you have to turn around and shine the light. Let your wounds be the place that the light shines through. Because that is how we get better together. I help you because I do that. Because I had enough people in my life, God put enough people in my path who helped me to see that they had trauma and they turned it into meaning. And not meaning in excusing it, making it okay. I'm not even saying you have to accept it. But in healing trauma, in working through trauma, you have to become compassionate for yourself. Turn that compassion into the world. Don't put out hate into the world. Don't put out sadness and pain into the world. Shine a light into the world. And I promise you, I don't make a lot of promises. I promise you that it will help you to feel better. It will help you to find meaning in your life and your existence. If you just turn the pain around, turn the darkness around, shine a light, become a lighthouse. Become a lighthouse for other people who are drowning out there and they can't find a way to shore. Be the lighthouse that helps them find their way out of the darkness. Otherwise, you're stuck. You're in the water with them. If you have found your way to shore, shine the light. If you're still bobbing in the waves, but you're closer to shore, I assure you, than somebody else, be a little glow stick. Be a little glow stick. Be the person who's like, I think shore is this way. Hey, you're not alone. You're not alone out here in the dark, scary ocean of pain. You're not alone. I'm here too. That's the beginning of shining your light, is putting yourself out there so that other people can find you. But the goal of finding each other is not to drown in the ocean of pain, but to get to shore together. And we have a better chance of getting to the shore if, unlike Rose in Titanic, we share our raft with Jack or other people. By helping others, we help to heal ourselves, and we all find our way out of the ocean of pain. And that is the download from God today. I don't know why, but normally when these things happen, it means that there is exactly one person out there who needed to hear it. And that's all I need. It's all God needs. It's all I need. That's why he put me here. So that is my message. Absolutely, we get better together. And you shining your light is the biggest part of that. I thank you all so much for watching me. I'm going to go play with dolls. I would love to hear in the comments below what your thoughts are about this. Are you shining your light, or is that an area that you need to start working on? Trust me, you just be a little tiny glow stick. Just tiny glow stick. You could be like your, I don't even know where my phone is. You could be like your phone flashlight. Actually, phone flashlights are very strong. Glow stick. Be a glow stick. Be a glow stick. Yeah. I love you guys so much. Thank you, God. I did it. Can I go play with dolls now? It's like I can go have dessert now. But I do love doing this, and it's only when I fight it that I realize that I'm being ridiculous. Love you all so much. Bye.